Have you ever noticed some people write, draw, or even throw a ball with their left hand instead of their right? Those people are called left-handers, or, as they're often known, lefties. It's something you might spot in your classroom, at the park, or even at home. Only about 10% of people are left-handed, which means being a lefty is actually pretty rare. It's like being part of a special, exclusive club that not everyone gets to join. For every 10 people you meet, probably just one is a lefty. So if you're left-handed, you're definitely unique. Why is that? Scientists and researchers have wondered about this for centuries, trying to figure out what makes some people left-handed and others right-handed. Being left-handed isn't just about which hand you use for writing or drawing, it's actually a fascinating clue about how your brain is wired and how it works differently from others. This story stretches back through your family tree, connecting you to your parents, grandparents, and even to ancient ancestors who lived thousands of years ago. The way you pick up a pencil or throw a ball links you to a long, fascinating history of human evolution and adaptation. We're going to explore this mystery together, looking at clues from our DNA, our brains, and the world around us. There's so much to discover. So what makes lefties special? For a long time, people had all sorts of strange ideas. Some thought being left-handed was bad luck, while others believed it meant you were extra creative or artistic. But today, science shows us that being a lefty is just a normal part of human diversity, just like having different eye colors, hair types, or heights. It's all about a complex dance between our genes and our environment, meaning both your family history and your experiences play a role. This little difference in which hand you use actually opens a window into understanding the amazing human brain and how it develops. Whether you're a lefty, a righty, or somewhere in between, let's dive into the science behind which hand leads the way and what it can tell us about ourselves. Maybe you're a lefty, or maybe your best friend, sibling, or even your teacher is. You might even know someone who can use both hands equally well. Or maybe you're just curious about why people are the way they are, and what makes each of us unique in our own way. Understanding handedness helps us appreciate how wonderfully different we all are, and how those differences make the world more interesting. There isn't just one right way for our bodies and brains to work, there are many, and that's something to celebrate. So, get ready to join the adventure. Welcome to the Lefty Club Investigation, where we'll uncover the secrets of what makes lefties, righties, and everyone in between so special. Let's talk about your brain, the incredible command center inside your head that's running the show every second of your life. It's more powerful and complex than any computer ever built, and it's what makes you, you. Your brain is split into two halves, called hemispheres, each with its own unique specialties and responsibilities. Here's the cool part. The left side of your brain controls the right side of your body, and the right side controls your left. It's a fascinating crisscross system. So when you wave with your right hand, it's actually your left brain at work, sending signals across to make it happen. For most people, the left hemisphere is dominant for fine movements, like writing, drawing, or using scissors, anything that needs careful, precise control. This side is also in charge of language, logic, and analytical thinking, skills we use for reading, solving puzzles, and making sense of the world. That's why most people are right-handed. Their left brain is calling the shots for those detailed tasks. But for lefties, the right hemisphere often takes the lead, handling creativity, imagination, and spatial awareness, like seeing patterns or thinking in pictures. Some lefties have brains organized more like right-handers, while others use both sides more equally, showing a unique blend of abilities. This variety makes studying lefties fascinating for scientists because it reveals just how flexible and adaptable our brains can be. Handedness is really about how your brain splits up its work, dividing up tasks to get things done as efficiently as possible. Think of your brain as a company with two main offices. Sometimes the right office takes over, sometimes the left, and often both share the job, working together as a team. It's not better or worse to be left or right-handed. It's just a different way of being wired, and both are equally amazing. This difference in brain wiring is the starting point for understanding left-handedness, and it's what makes each of us unique. So remember, it's all in your head, literally. Have you ever noticed how left-handedness seems to run in families, almost like a secret thread connecting generations? Maybe you've seen it in your own family, a grandparent, a parent, or a sibling who favors their left hand. If one of your parents is a lefty, your chances of being left-handed go up quite a bit compared to the general population. That's a big clue. Our genes are definitely involved in this fascinating trait. Think of genes as tiny instruction manuals, carefully passed down from our parents, shaping everything from our eye color to which hand we write with. Scientists have spent years searching for a single lefty gene, but the truth is, it's much more complex than that. In reality, dozens, maybe even hundreds of genes each play a small part, and it's the unique combination of these genes that can increase your chances of being left-handed. For example, if both your parents are right-handed, your odds of being a lefty are about 9%. Pretty low, but not impossible. If one parent is left-handed, your chances nearly double to 19%. And if both parents are lefties, it jumps even higher, to about 26%. Some of these genes help build the very structure of our cells, influencing how our bodies develop their left and right sides from the earliest stages of life. Even a small change in these genes can affect how the brain's hemispheres develop, which in turn can influence which hand becomes dominant. But genes aren't the whole story. Even identical twins who share the same DNA can end up with different handedness, one lefty, one righty. So, while our genes give us a gentle nudge in one direction, something else must give the final push. Genetics sets the stage for handedness, but the rest of the story is shaped by other factors: environment, chance, and maybe even a bit of mystery. So, what else is at play? The answer is still unfolding, and scientists are eager to discover more. If genes aren't the only answer, what else matters? A lot happens before we're even born. In the womb, our developing brains are exposed to different hormones, which may influence handedness. Ultrasound shows that as early as 8 weeks, a fetus may move one arm more than the other. By 13 weeks, a thumb-sucking preference can predict handedness after birth. Being a twin or born prematurely can also increase the chance of being left-handed, likely due to unique conditions in the womb. These small differences shape how our brains develop. Becoming a lefty is a mix of genes and early environment. Each of us has a unique developmental story, and handedness is just one chapter. Here's a big question. If right-handedness is so common, why hasn't evolution erased lefties? The steady 10% suggests left-handedness offers some advantage. One idea is the fighter hypothesis. In ancient times, lefties had the element of surprise in combat. This could have helped them survive and pass on their genes. We see this today in sports. Left-handed athletes often have an edge because opponents aren't used to their moves. Another idea, lefties' brains might be wired for creative or different thinking. In a group, having people who see things differently can be valuable. Evolution may have kept lefties around for their unique perspectives, not just their fighting skills. So, being a lefty might have helped our ancestors, and still helps us today. It's a living piece of our evolutionary history. That's why lefties are still here. Lefties are in impressive company. The Southpaw Hall of Fame includes some of history's greatest minds. Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo were both left-handed. Maybe their brains helped them see the world differently. Scientists like Albert Einstein, Marie Curie, and Isaac Newton were also lefties. Their unique brain wiring may have contributed to their breakthroughs. In modern times, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Julia Roberts, and Keanu Reeves are all lefties. Even several US presidents, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and George H.W. Bush, were left-handed. Lefties have led, created, and discovered for centuries. Their success shows that being left-handed is no barrier to greatness. Some even think lefties' creativity and problem-solving skills give them a boost. Whether in art, science, business, or politics, lefties have made their mark. It's clear, left-handers have shaped our world. That's something to celebrate. Imagine living in a world designed for the opposite hand. Welcome to a lefty's daily life. Scissors, spiral notebooks, can openers, and even computer keyboards are made for right-handers. School desks and shirt buttons are easier for righties too. For centuries, lefties had to adapt, using tools backwards or training their right hand. In the past, this was more than inconvenient. It could be dangerous, especially with factory equipment. That's why lefties were once thought to be clumsy, not because of their nature, but because of the tools. Thankfully, things are changing. Today, you can find lefty scissors, notebooks, and even guitars, but the world is still mostly right-handed, so lefties keep adapting. This daily challenge might be why lefties are often great problem solvers. They've been solving small physical problems their whole lives. Being a lefty means thinking differently, every single day. That's a hidden superpower. Attitudes about left-handedness have changed a lot. In the past, being a lefty was seen as bad. Sinister even comes from the Latin for left. Some cultures forced left-handed kids to use their right hand, which could be stressful and harmful. Many languages linked left with awkwardness or clumsiness. These old beliefs were based on superstition, not science. Today we know being left-handed is just a normal variation. Forcing kids to switch hands is now discouraged. Some people now see lefties as creative or intelligent, but that's not the whole story either. Science shows left-handedness is a complex trait, not good or bad, just different. Most challenges lefties face come from a world built for the majority. As society becomes more accepting, life gets better for everyone, including lefties. We've moved from seeing lefties as sinister to celebrating them as part of human diversity. That's real progress. So, what have we learned? There's no single answer to why some people are left-handed. It's a mix of genes, early environment, and evolution. Being a lefty is a perfect example of nature and nurture working together. Lefties might have advantages, like surprise in sports or creative thinking. They also face challenges in a right-handed world, but they adapt and thrive. The list of famous lefties proves being in the minority is no obstacle to greatness. There are still mysteries. Scientists are searching for all the genes and studying how the brain organizes itself. Every discovery teaches us more about the human brain. The humble lefty helps unlock some of its biggest secrets. Next time you see a lefty, give them a nod. You're seeing the result of a fascinating scientific story. Your handedness is a small but important part of what makes you, you. We're all a wonderful mix of biology, history, and mystery, and that's pretty cool.